Hey, what's up YouTube? Want to give you guys two good tips today. We got a mess in the boat, as you can see. We got rods everywhere, so I'm just out here cleaning it out, and want to put you guys on what I've been catching them on lately. You know, it's really good post spawn baits, so I'm gonna share with you my two best post spawn baits. So been doing really good on a buzz bait, buzz toad specifically. Loving the buzz toad just because it's simple. Change your frog out, you know, black, white, that's all I throw. Gold blade, throw a lot of gold blade. The waters around me are a little more dirty, rivers, so a lot of gold. I switch between the white frog and the black frog depending on, you know, just how you feel. Black frog if it's sunny or nighttime, you know, I'll throw a black frog. White frog is cloudy, overcast days. Most of the time I'm throwing a white frog on my river. White does really good for top water. So I'm just throwing this, you know, on this Buzz Burner Arc Brandon Cobb series. It's a pretty sweet rod. It's a heavy rod, but it has a really soft, forgiving tip, and so it's really good at putting this single buzz toad hook or buzz bait hook, you know, into a fish. And it gives a little bit of give, but it's got the backbone to set the hook really well. I love this rod. Just throwing it on a 7.3 Shimano SLX DC. Love my Shimano reel. So this is one of my favorite things that I've been throwing. Went out the other day and caught like 20 plus just throwing a buzz bait. I am running I think this is a 50-pound braid, Power Pro Green Moss. And what I like to do with my braid is I got a contractor permanent marker about 2 to 3 foot of my line black. I don't know if it helps. Whenever I'm running straight braid, I do it. I feel like it kind of helps. You know, fish that are line shy around here, they're pretty pressured, so I do every little thing that can help me. So the Buzz Toad is really good post spawn. I do throw it year round, but really good post spawn bait for searching for fish. And this is just me. If I'm throwing something and I'm reeling it through, or you know, reeling in my retrieve, and I see little bait fish jumping anywhere, I'm picking this up and throwing some kind of buzz bait just to reel across there. I get bit, I get a blow up, something, you know. That's the number one for me right now that I've been catching them on. All right, so the second thing you probably already know is the wacky worm. Been throwing this thing when you want to slow down. You see fish, you know, on bed, you see fish cruising around in shallows, you can flip this thing up there nice and quiet, just float it around. They can't stand it, especially if you get on their beds. If you're in an area where they're still spawning, it's a really good bait to have. It's a Shimano SLX 7-foot medium heavy spinning rod with a Shimano, let's see, what is this? It's a 3000 Shimano reel. It's a neck save. So I mean, this right here, this setup, I mean, it's kind of intermediate setup. It's not really expensive. You can get this reel $49.99 at Walmart. I think the rod, $100 rod offline, or Academy has them most of the time. But I mean, I've thrown a lot of spinning rods for wacky worm setups, and this is one of my favorites. You know, we're throwing it on 10-pound braid, you know, just a high vis braid, so you can see that line moving when a fish takes it. We're running like an 8-pound fluorocarbon leader, about a 6 to 8 foot leader. 1/0, 2/0. These are the Gamakatsu weedless wacky hooks. They do really well at pulling it through brush piles, laydowns, whatnot. And then another little trick, your little O-ring or something, or without an O-ring, they'll run the hook perpendicular or parallel with the worm. A lot of people run on perpendicular, try to get a better hookup ratio. So we've been in these rivers, we've been running them. My kids got this one kind of rigged up weird, but we've been running them on a little 3/8 clear tubing heat shrink. You can fish with this same worm multiple catches, and it'll last a lot better than those little O-rings. Little O-rings tend to cut the worm in half. So this is our number 2 post spawn bait right now to throw, is your wacky worm. If you're throwing a little deeper water, you can buy the weighted wacky worm hooks just to get it down there a little quicker. If you're throwing in like 6 foot or more water, if I'm throwing in anything less than 6 foot, I'm gonna throw this weightless, just let it float down. Especially in these rivers, the current will take a little bit. Those fish hate it, they gotta eat it. Cover water, get you a buzz toad or a buzz bait, cover water. When you want to slow down, you think you found, you know, a good little honey hole or a pocket somewhere, get you a wacky worm. If you see fish kind of cruising around the shallows, get you a wacky worm, flip it up there, get more bites. So I got a world of a mess here. So I've been bad, just been throwing the rods back in the boat, tackle everywhere. It's been a mess, but see, you can see what we've been catching them on. We've been catching them, you know, we have been flipping, you know, with the old Z crawl, speed crawl, wacky worms, you know. Here's another wacky worm. So we've been getting them on a lot of South Plastics, but mostly the buzz bait and the wacky worm. Let me show you guys. I'll show you guys this weighted hook. So here's the Gamakatsu hooks. Really good. 2/0 weedless wacky hook. And then, like I said, I throw the 1/0 a lot. Mostly I've been throwing the 2/0, but let's see, I got some weighted. So here you go. Here's your wacky worm. This is a 1/0 3/32 ounce. So it's a Gamakatsu as well, but that's just your weighted wacky hooks. And honestly guys, I haven't thrown a lot of those. I'll probably start tying on some here now that it's in the summer pattern and we're gonna be maybe fishing a little deeper. But on these rivers, we're still busting the bank. We got a lot of fish just cruising shallow. So the weightless deal it's still been working for us. But I'm set up with a bunch of these. We're gonna start throwing them. So just a little tip, help pass along, help you guys out. I don't know, it's been helping me, but 2 top baits for us right now. Post spawn here, North Florida, been buzz toad, your buzz baits, and a wacky worm. Go get them, guys. I appreciate you guys turning in Bass and Bee TV. Try to share a little, you know, just a couple tips with you guys that have been working for me. Hopefully they'll work for you. Appreciate y'all. God bless.